Hi, my name is Tammy. I'm a human being, and in today's video, we'll be translating yet another block from Maggie Malone's 5500 quilt block designs. Want to see which block I selected for this video? Stay tuned. In today's video, I'll be translating this block right here. It's block 127, and it is called the Prairie Queen block. The churn dash quilt block is one of my favorite blocks, and this is a variation of that churn dash block. So stay tuned and I'll show you which fabrics and which dyes I'll be using for this block translation. The Prairie Queen quilt block is made up of 3 different dyes. I am using my 6-inch AccuQuilt Go Qube mix and match box set. You can make this block in any size cube that you have. The first die you'll be using is die number 1, which is the larger square. The second die you'll be using is die number 2, which are smaller squares. And the third die you'll be using is die number 3, which are half square triangles. I have chosen this ombre print paw print fabric, and I have some leftover yardage from my strawberry lemonade fat quarter bundle. What I'm going to do now is press this fabric and then cut out the shapes using my AccuQuilt Go Me, and I will show you what all those shapes look like once I cut them out. Stay tuned. I am a AccuQuilt die super fan. I have so many different dies. I have the Go Me cutter, I have the Go Big cutter, and I also have the Studio 2 cutter. So I have multiple dies for all of the machines. I was digging through my die stash and realized that since the churn dash is one of my favorite blocks, I have the Bob or block on board die for the churn dash. It finishes to 9 inches, and I will not be using this die in today's translation video because the shape that is different from the traditional churn dash and the Prairie Queen block, which we'll be doing today, is B. So on this die board, we have shape A, which is equivalent to shape 1 that we'll be using in this video. And then the C here are half square triangles, and this is half square triangles, which is die 3. The difference again are these 2 rectangles here. So instead of B, we'll be using die number 2, which are squares, just a smaller shape. So if you can imagine here, these 2 squares are equivalent to this rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the fabric using the 3 dies and then show you what that looks like. I just wanted to show you this die because I have it and I wanted to show it off. Stay tuned. Well, I decided that I am going to make 2 variations of this Prairie Queen block. The first block, I will have this reddish orange color as the center square. And then the second block will have the paw print as the center square. I'm going to piece together the half square triangles to make those units. And then I'm going to piece together these smaller squares into a 4 patch. And once that's done, I will show you what that looks like. Stay tuned. Well, my quilty friend, we are in the home stretch of completing the Prairie Queen quilt block, which I'm translating using my Go Qube mix and match box set. So these are identical blocks with the exception of the center squares being different. So on the right hand side here, we have this ombre multicolor paw print, and on the left hand side, we have a solid red. As I'm looking at these 2 blocks next to each other, I don't know, this one on the left hand side is giving me like Valentine's Day vibes, and this one on the right hand side is giving me more 4th of July vibes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. So what I'm going to do is these
both of these blocks are 9 patches, so I'm going to piece all of the units together, and then I'll come back and we'll do a side-by-side comparison and see how these blocks turned out. Stay tuned. Okay, my quilting friend, the Prairie Queen blocks are all sewn together. But before I do the big reveal, I want to have a little sidebar conversation with you about stitch length and seam ripping. When I was putting together these blocks, of course, I had to rip the seams apart and undo one of them because, you know, I was just piecing along, listening to my true crime show, and realized that one of the churn dashes was not dashing in the right direction. So I do all of my sewing on vintage Singer sewing machines. I have 4 vintage machines, and this one that you see right here, this one is Juan Pablo, and he is my Singer 201. But the primary piecer is right here, and this is Luigi. So I've been using Luigi for these blocks today. So when I was sewing the blocks together, I realized, again, one of the dashes was dashing in the wrong direction, so I had to undo the stitches. And so I realized that even though I can set the stitches per inch on this machine, it is clearly not as accurate as a newer machine. So what I learned was to just be patient and not rip and tear up the block. But let me show you. So this is the block that has the red square. Tell me what you think about this one. And let's see. What I did was, when I was piecing this together, this row of 3, I had this row right here upside down. So this row was flipped this way. And so you can maybe see here where I ripped out the stitches to correct the error. So this is the block with the red center square. And here's the block with the paw print in the center. So, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I'm going to attempt to do a side by side. So my quilting friend, here are the side-by-side comparisons of both blocks. Let me know which block is your favorite down in the comments, and also chat with me in the comments about your thoughts on stitch length. Do you like your length longer, shorter? Do you get frustrated when you have to rip out your stitches and take everything apart, or do you just leave it in and leave it as an Easter egg in your project? Whatever it is, I would love to see what you have to say. Thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.